let's go to Satu Sabli, right? She was at a press conference after one of the games that they had played, and she basically said that she don't like. Well, she said that the WNBA don't care about the players because they have them playing back to backs, and she don't like that. They're not concerned about player safety. Now
Mm.
they only play one or two back to backs per season, in most cases. Then on top of that, they only play a total of 44 games. I think it's 44, 40 something games.
It's 44 right now.
Okay, so it's 44 games. So like, to me, and she said something about like practicing for an hour and stuff like that. Number one, an hour is not a long time to practice. Then on top of that, it just seems to me like they had so many complaints. Like the
Mm.
love for the sport, they want you to love the game that what they putting out there, but they don't play like they love the sport. A lot of these young women are like they playing like almost like they have to play the sport. They don't have that love for the game like you would find in the men's game and that passion. That's what it seems like to me. But
Mm.
what do you take from her comments about not wanting to play back to backs?
Well, I think our comments is indicative to her per se. Personally, I'm not sure if other players share that same sentiment, but I like your point that if it's only one or two times that occur throughout your schedule,
Yeah.
why is that such, a big deal? I remember hearing some of the players talk about it during the All-Star break. They was trying to use that to justify the lack of effort during that game because
Hmm.
of the back-to-backs, and then they had to turn around and play Tuesday and things of this nature. But yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand what her frustration is with it, because they really have a short season, like you said, 44 games. Now, if you want to say that, you got us playing these extra games and we're not getting an increase in pay, you would
Right.
have a good leg to stand on. But just to say, I don't want to play back to backs. Yeah, but I just don't believe she speaks for all the players in the league. I'm not
Yeah.
so sure of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you on the point that I don't think that she speaks for everybody in the league, number one. And
Yeah.
then on top of that, but my thing is, to me, it's not like if it was just that statement coming from her, but it's just so
Mhm.
many different things. When you talk about the Kelsey Plum situation, when she told the guy that he was kind of weird for asking for autographs.
Yeah.
Then the situation also with Kelsey Plum when she said, that the fans got to do better. It's just one thing after another with the WNBA as far as like complaining and having a gripe. And then on
Mhm.
top of that, you trying to get some more money. To me, it's just not a good look, personally.
Mhm. Do you think some of their attitude is being influenced by where society has been in recent years? Not necessarily this year, but in recent years. A
So
lot of things have been rewarded in society in terms of, you know, um, pushing back against the system, complaining about what's not being done. And then you have this becoming like rewarded in a sense, like, people are calling you standing up for what you believe in, you standing on business, these type of things. Do you think the culture has any influence over some of these attitudes?
what? Yeah, I do. And then now that you bring that up, like the WNBA itself is a very like they take a whole lot of different public stances, right? They have, the LGBT. Then they had the Breonna. I think it was the young lady who was like they stood up for like different social causes. They involved
Yeah,
themselves in, right? And
yeah.
so if the WNBA is always involved in these different social causes, I think that's kind of when if as a basketball fan though, you sometimes or as a sports fan, you want to tune into a sport as a like to get away from like what's going on in the everyday life. So if you watching the news and something happened on the news, And then you got to watch all of these young ladies in this league also that's in your face. Then it kind of really turns people off from that sport also. It works against.
Yep. Sports can be a microcosm of society, but it's also an escape.
Right.
You want to live vicariously through this entertainment, and you want to forget about your troubles. And you make a valid point. Now you're just constantly bringing the ills of society right into the sport and right back into the fans' face and back into the fans' psyche.
Yeah.
So, but I definitely think a lot of that attitude is being inspired by what's been happening lately. And, you know, when you look at a person like Colin Kaepernick, right, that takes a knee, but then Nike rewards him with a deal, you know, and then, you know, activism now becomes some sort of brand, and it allows you to get money by, you know, going down the activism route. You know, it's not authentic anymore. It's not like when Ali, he did it and he had to suffer, you know, and stuff like that. So now it's almost like people are jumping on board with that kind of attitude. And, you know, everybody's trying to, you know, voice their opinion, lend their voice to some type of ill. And to me, the WNBA and back-to-back games, to me, that's not a real ill. You know what I mean? It's just not, you know.
Right. Yeah.
But I can't, like I said, I can't speak for her. I don't know the preparation that comes with playing back-to-backs. I know them girls do a lot of training. I know it's a lot. Like, it takes up a lot of your time. I know if they ain't playing, they practicing. If they're not practicing in the weight room, I get all that. And that is a lot on the body. But here again, your season lasts from May to September.
Right.
You know, how many months is that?
Right.
You know? Right. And nobody told Satu she had to play an unravel. She chose to do that.
That's a good point too.
You understand what I'm saying? So yeah,
that's a good point. And I think that also you brought up another point too, like living vicariously through these athletes, right? And so when you think about living vicariously through the athletes, you want to see somebody who is like a gym rat and dedicated to the game in a way that you wish that you could be. Especially, you know what I mean? Somebody like, you know, we work in regular 9-to-5s and all this other stuff. And so we want to be able to see somebody on the court or on the field who just dedicated in a way that we would like to be, you know, so we can live through them. But if they always have a gripe or complain about everything, then it kind of turn people off to the league.
Yes. You know, I always talk about dreaming, right, Mike? And these things inspire you to dream. Certain players come through and inspire you to dream. The one thing the dream never resembles is a whole bunch of complaints and a whole bunch of negativity. So now you killing that fantasy. You know what I'm saying? By constantly complaining about this is our job. We got to work at this and all this kind of stuff. I get it. It is a job. But, you know, to inspire the next generation, you got to allow the next generation to dream through you.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
I agree. Now, let me ask you this, because we also spoke on prior podcasts about how the older generation and all the sports, they used to, during the off season, they had jobs. Now, wasn't no social media back then, and you know that it wasn't a lot covered. But do you think that Johnny Unitas like complained about having to work? You know what I mean? Like complained about it. Just to me, it just seemed like those guys in the back in the day, they just did what they had to do and kept their, you know, and kept focused. And now I know that some of those guys resented the fact that each generation got more money. They benefited.
Yeah.
I can see that gripe.
Yeah.
But like, why you in the mix of things? Like, I just couldn't see those guys like doing a whole bunch of complaining and griping at the fans and stuff.
Yeah, at that time, I don't believe they did. I believe because everybody was kind of facing the same thing. So all those guys had to get jobs and stuff. But it was just a blessing to be able to get paid to play. Think about this. If those guys wasn't playing professional football, when they were off of work, they probably would have been playing pickup football somewhere. whether it be a flag football league or anything, and
Right.
they wouldn't have been getting paid for it. So
Right.
to be able to get paid for something you love to do, I don't care. I don't care the circumstances that comes with it. That has to feel good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It
Oh yeah,
has to.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
can imagine that. Even,
Yeah.
like even us growing up playing basketball, we play all day, every day,
Yep.
and so, and
And
no
that
matter
gave
what our skill level was, we still was, I mean, just was happy to be able to play
yeah.
basketball. And I just don't get it. That's why I just think that some of these young ladies that are in the league don't really love the sport, but they want the fans to love and appreciate it, and they want that type of adulation from the fans. Like, but you got to put
Mhm.
that energy out there.
Yes.
I think you have to put that out there.
That's why it's only a few that garner a lot of attention, a lot of light, and a lot of fanfare.
Mhm.
Everybody doesn't love the sport on the same level,
That's true. That's
and then those that love it and those that live for it and those that were just born to do it,
mm,
they would do it regardless.
yeah,
Money very seldom comes into the equation. Sure, they want to get paid and they love the money that comes with it, but they are born to do this. And
yeah,
then some people have the ability to do it. It's
mm,
two different things.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And those that's born to do it, their light shines brighter than others that just have the ability to do it.
that's
And
true.
that's why you have a person like a Caitlin, or you had like a Michael, or different players that Steph, different people that come along that people be like, well, can't figure out that it factor. Like, what
Mm,
is it about those people? And you just said it.
yeah,
It's just that love they have and everything they put into it. I remember listening to Caitlin say she loves practicing.
mm,
She's upset that she can't practice every day.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's she just love. So it's Kobe was like that. He loved working on his game. Michael played in practice like he played in the game. Just these kind of individuals, man, they just born to do that.
yeah, yeah. Right.
You
Yep.
know,
And so, and you're right. You have people who are able to play and can play just because they are blessed with that ability. Then
you
you
know,
have people like Mike, Kobe, Caitlin Clark, probably Tom Brady. Tom Brady said he liked practice.
he liked
All
practice.
practice is grueling.
Ray Lewis loved to
Right? Yeah.
practice. Love to
That's,
watch film. Ray Lewis would get stimulated just watching film with the clicker.
yeah. Yeah.
Man, yeah.
So you're right. That is that's a rare breed though. When you have somebody like that to who really like that, love the sport like that. And it comes across, their energy comes across to the fan base and they feel it. And like you said, that's where that it factor comes in at.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's you got anything else to say on the Satu Sabi?
No, too. I just wish the lady well.
Mhm.
And yeah, I just wish the lady well. I wish the young lady well. I was a fan of hers last year. I thought she was coming to join the Fever. I really did. But a lot of things are starting to get exposed with her, the more you follow
Yeah,
these young ladies.
yeah,
Yeah, so no, I just wish her well.
yeah.